One thing people don't really understand is there's huge cultural differences between provinces in China. Like business, not just food, but like not just language either, but like the way you do business. Very different in Guangdong than it is in the north.
What's the typical for south of China?
The south, people tend to be a little less aggressive,
Yeah,
a little more
chill,
chilled. Yeah. It's just one of the night. I have a lot of great friends from the north, and a lot of my buddies are from Dongbei, which is like the northeast of China. But they're more like more aggressive people in terms of business and in life, and
Right. Yeah.
like a little more confrontational when you do business with them and things like this. But the south, it's one of the nice things. The north is more about like a little more relationship heavy, like drinking, lots of baijiu, lots of go to KTV together. The south is a little more business. It's not so heavy on the drinking culture. It's a little more, let's make money. A little more results oriented. So I mean, that's the nice thing about working in the south is you don't have to drink. Because my wife was selling houses to very, very wealthy people.
Okay.
And so I knew a bunch of like people that had public companies. Like this guy had $100 million or something like this.
Yeah.
And he would walk around in flip-flops and an old t-shirt.
Yeah.
And he didn't care. My roommate in grad school, his dad was like the provincial CEO for China Mobile, which is like a big SOE here, state-owned company. And he took us out, his dad's friends took us out to lunch, and there were 2 minivans full of VPs from China Mobile. And we went to this huge restaurant, and like everyone's wearing a suit, and probably 1,000 RMB a person, and just pomp and circumstance. And then like that guy, he runs a huge industrial concern. It's got like 4,000 or 5,000 workers, and him and one of his buddies would go to a local place where they eat crawfish and drink beer. Conor, come on, let's go have 5 or 6 beers. Yeah. And it's just it's a little just more casual, more about results. You don't, and the drinking culture is really, really a big part of it, even now.
So if you want to make business in China, do business in China, you kind of have to.
In the north, if you're in Shandong or the north, you have to.
Yeah.
Must.
Yeah.
I actually know a guy a Hong Kong gentleman, him and his brother work in appliances, and his brother died because they were having a drinking
Too much
party with one of their suppliers in Shandong, and he died.
Wow. But why is the reason? So not the dying thing, but why you have to drink? So you need to show yourself, like true yourself, like to open up, and they see who you are.
In vino veritas is like the Latin saying, right? In wine, truth. So there's, in the old days, I would say not so much anymore. There was weaker legal institutions in China. Okay. So if something goes wrong, it's going to take a while to get it, maybe never sorted in the courts.
Yeah.
So people, it's more about the personal relationship because they can't necessarily rely on, the courts to fix it quickly. So they need to trust you, and they think that, we build that trust by, we get drunk together, we sing KTV. I want to get a feeling for what kind of guy you are. And this may be why the South, you don't need to do that so much, because the South has kind of a stronger institutional structure because it's one of the first provinces that opened up. So maybe a little more further along with the legal system. Like everything here is actually super convenient to do business here. Like opening a company, like going to the tax bureau, it's actually pretty fast. And I mean, there's always, hiccups, but I would say compared to Europe, it's probably much easier to do business here. And so they don't need to rely on drinking but I mean, it still happens. I would say sometimes business in China, like difference between provinces, it's more like Europe in where you have different countries. Like the difference is that pronounced. Yeah. They all see themselves as Chinese, very much so.
Yeah.
But there's language and real cultural differences.